You ever notice how when you're in a bad mood, your mind tends to jump straight into the past, replaying things that went wrong, or rushes into the future, worrying about what might go wrong? Yeah, we've all been there. The truth is, our mental state often gets tangled up in those thoughts. But here's the thing, in many cases, what feels like a mental problem actually has a physical solution. And sometimes, it is not even about fixing your body, it is about shifting the way you think. So in this video, I want to share 6 quick mood resets that have personally helped me go from feeling grumpy and drained to calm, cheerful, and centered. Let's get right into it. 1. Move literally. We've all heard this one before. Physical activity boosts your mood. It's not just a cliche, it's backed by science and by experience. Whether it's walking, running, or lifting weights, any kind of movement that gets your blood pumping can change how you feel almost instantly. When you move your body, your brain releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that naturally elevate your mood. That's why after a run or even a short walk, you might feel a sense of lightness or even a subtle euphoria. But here's the good news, you need to run a marathon to feel that effect. Movement in any form can do wonders. Even something as simple as walking from your desk to grab a coffee counts. Cleaning your room, stretching, or doing a few push-ups. All of these help. The reason this works is partly physiological, better oxygen flow, improved circulation, and that small but powerful change in scenery. But there's something deeper happening too. Movement anchors you in the present moment. You stop overthinking for a bit and simply do. And humans by nature love progress. So when you're cleaning up, organizing something, or training your body, your brain recognizes that as forward motion. It gives you a sense of control, a feeling that you're moving toward something better. So next time your mood dips, don't overthink it. Just move, walk around, do a chore, stretch, dance, anything. The shift you'll feel afterward might surprise you. 2. Shock. The cold shower trick. Okay, hear me out. This one sounds brutal, but it works. When you're feeling low, anxious, or sluggish, try taking a cold shower. Yeah, a cold one. The idea is simple. Jump under that icy stream for a few minutes, and you'll feel your mood shift almost instantly. It's not magic. It's biology. When cold water hits your body, it triggers a strong physical response. Your heart rate spikes, your breathing quickens, and your body releases a rush of adrenaline. That's your system waking up, snapping out of its funk. Now, I won't lie, cold showers are uncomfortable. The first few seconds can feel like torture, but that's exactly why they work. There's a kind of mental reset that comes from voluntarily doing something hard. You're proving to yourself that you can handle discomfort, and that small victory floods you with energy and pride, both of which are natural antidotes to feeling down. I like to think of it this way, to feel amazing, sometimes you need to feel awful first. It's like a shock to your emotional system. And once your body adjusts, what comes after is this wave of euphoria and clarity. It's powerful. So the next time you're caught in a bad mood spiral, try it. Undress, turn the handle to cold, and just go for it. When you step out of that shower, you won't just feel clean, you'll feel alive again. 3. Reason. Think your way out with logic. Now let's talk about something that happens in your mind. When we're in a bad mood, our thoughts can spiral out of control. We replay memories, worry about the future, or build worst-case scenarios in our heads. Before we know it, we've created this internal storm of negativity that feels impossible to escape. This is where cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, comes in. It's a psychological approach rooted in the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, and it's all about using logic to reshape your thinking. Here's the key idea. Thoughts aren't facts. Their stories often exaggerated, distorted, or flat-out false. When you dwell on the past, you're actually replaying memories, which aren't as accurate as you think. Neuroscientists have shown that our memories constantly change. They reshape themselves to fit new emotions or situations. So what you're remembering might not even be true anymore. When you worry about the future, the same thing happens. Your brain is making up a fictional scenario. You're essentially creating an imaginary movie in your head, and then reacting emotionally to something that hasn't even happened. CBT teaches you to interrupt that process. You'll learn to question your thoughts instead of accepting them. Ask yourself, is this actually true? Do I have evidence for this? What's a more rational way to look at it? By reasoning through your negative thoughts, you take away their power. You start to see them for what they are. Temporary stories, not reality. I've personally found this incredibly freeing. It's like clearing out mental clutter. When you challenge those delusional, self-defeating thoughts, you stop feeding the sadness and anxiety they create. You're not ignoring your emotions, you're reframing them. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling into overthinking, pause, step back. Use logic and reason as your tools to rewrite the story your brain is telling you. Alright, let's pick up where we left off. We've talked about movement, cold showers, and logical thinking, 3 super effective ways to shift your mood fast. Now, let's move into the next set of tools. These are a bit more about what's happening inside your head and how you connect with others. 4. Listen quiet, the monkey mind. There's a quote by spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle that goes, Many people live with a tormentor in their head that continuously attacks and punishes them and drains them of vital energy. If you've ever felt trapped in your thoughts, replaying conversations, regretting things you said, worrying about things you might do, then you know exactly what he means. That inner voice just doesn't stop. Buddhists call this the monkey mind, a restless mind that keeps jumping from one idea to another, never settling, never quiet. It's one of the main causes of emotional exhaustion. The more you think, the worse you feel. So how do you deal with it? By listening instead of fighting. Here's what that means. Find a quiet spot, sit down, close your eyes, and simply watch your thoughts go by. Don't try to stop them. Don't judge them. Just observe. It'll feel weird at first. Your mind will throw all kinds of random stuff at you. Worries, to-do lists, regrets, memories, and you'll be tempted to chase each one, but resist that. Just listen to what's going on in your head, almost like you're eavesdropping on someone else's conversation. And here's the powerful realization. You are not your thoughts. You're the observer of them. You don't have to believe everything your mind says. Once you start creating that small space between you and your thoughts, something amazing happens. The mind begins to calm down on its own. The trick is acceptance. When you accept that your thoughts will come and go, instead of trying to fight or suppress them, they lose their grip on you. Over time, you'll find yourself less reactive, more centered, and far less controlled by that mental chatter. A calmer mind naturally leads to a better mood. You'll feel lighter, more focused, and much more at peace. Try this for just 5 minutes a day. Listen to your mind without judgment. It's not meditation in the strict sense. It's just awareness. But that awareness can change your whole emotional landscape. 5. Talk, let it out, but do it wisely. Now let's talk about something very human: conversation. When you're in a bad mood, keeping everything bottled up usually makes it worse. Sometimes, the simple act of talking about what's bothering you can give you a surprising sense of relief. It's like letting air out of a balloon before it bursts. That's why therapy works. That's why venting to a friend helps. Talking allows you to externalize what's been swirling around inside your head. When you put your feelings into words, they stop feeling like a storm and start becoming something you can actually understand. But here's the catch. Don't overdo it. If you talk about your problems non-stop, you risk reinforcing them. You start circling the same emotions again and again, which can actually make you feel worse. That's why it's crucial to choose who you talk to and how you talk about it. Avoid those people who are always negative. You know, the ones who love to complain, gossip, or one-up your misery. There's a reason they say misery loves company. Hanging out with chronically unhappy people when you're already feeling low can pull you down even further. Instead, seek out those who lift you up. The ones who make you laugh, who listen without judgment, who have that kind of positive energy that's contagious. You don't even have to talk about your problems. Just talking to good people can change your emotional state. Human connection is powerful. When you're isolated, your brain interprets that as danger, like you've been cut off from the tribe. But when you engage in real conversation, it tells your nervous system, I'm safe. I belong. That safety helps calm your mood and restore balance. So next time you're feeling low, don't retreat into silence. Reach out. Call a friend. Talk to someone you trust. Even a short, lighthearted chat can completely reset your mood. And remember, the goal isn't to dump all your emotions on someone else. It's to connect. Sometimes, connection alone is the cure. 6. Sleep. The underrated mood fix. Alright, this last one might sound simple, but it's easily the most overlooked. Sleep. If you've tried everything else, exercise, reasoning, mindfulness, socializing, and you still feel cranky, anxious, or down, chances are, you just need rest. Sleep deprivation messes with everything. Your hormones, your focus, your emotional regulation. Even one bad night of sleep can make you more irritable and pessimistic. And if you go days or weeks without proper rest, your brain starts misfiring in ways that feel a lot like depression or anxiety. I've personally noticed that when I feel unusually negative or anxious for no reason, it's almost always tied to a lack of sleep. Once I catch up on rest, everything feels lighter, more manageable, more me. Even a short nap can do wonders. It doesn't have to be a full night's sleep. Just 20 to 30 minutes of deep rest can reset your mood, improve concentration, and give you back that emotional stability you lost. And here's something to remember. Your mind and body are deeply connected. What feels like a mental issue might actually be a physical one. When you're tired, your brain loses the energy it needs to regulate emotions. That's why everything feels harder, darker, and more frustrating when you're sleep deprived. So make sleep a priority. Treat it like a daily reset button for your brain. Turn off screens a little earlier. Keep your room cool and dark, and give yourself permission to rest. Really rest. Because no amount of productivity or grinding is worth a fried mood and foggy mind. And there you have it. 6 quick, powerful ways to reset your mood. Move your body. Shock your system with cold. Reason with your thoughts. Listen to your mind. Talk things out. Sleep it off. Each one might sound simple, but when you combine them, movement for energy, logic for clarity, rest for recovery, they create a full cycle reset for your mood and mindset. When nothing seems to help, try one of these. Better yet, try all 6 and see which one your body and mind respond to best. Alright, we've covered the 6 quick mood resets that can pull you out of a bad emotional state fast. But let's take it a step further, because it's one thing to fix a bad mood when it hits, and another thing entirely to prevent it from happening in the first place. In this part, I'll show you how to turn those 6 techniques, move, shock, reason, listen, talk, and sleep into a simple daily framework you can actually live by. 1. Move. Make it your anchor. Think of movement as your daily anchor. It doesn't have to be an intense workout, it just needs to happen. The goal is to get your body and your mind synced up through action. Start small. Take a walk first thing in the morning instead of scrolling on your phone. Use stairs instead of elevators. Do 5 push-ups before brushing your teeth. The magic isn't in how much you move, it's that you choose to move. It's that act of intention that changes how your brain feels. Movement reminds your body that you're alive and capable. It pulls you out of mental loops and grounds you in the present. And when you be consistent even just 10 minutes a day, it becomes a protective barrier against mood swings. So don't wait for motivation. Move first, and the motivation will follow. 2. Shock. Build mental resilience. Cold showers are great for breaking out of low moods, but they also train something deeper, resilience. Every time you step into that freezing water, you're teaching your brain that discomfort is temporary, survivable, and even empowering. If cold showers aren't your thing, the same principle applies elsewhere. Do something uncomfortable every day. Speak up in a meeting. Try a new skill. Say no when you'd normally say yes. That little bit of voluntary discomfort builds confidence. You begin to realize that fear and resistance are signals to lean in, not run away. And when bigger emotional challenges show up, stress, heartbreak, failure, you've already built the mental muscle to handle them. In other words, shock your system a little bit each day, and you'll be amazed at how stable your mood becomes. 3. Reason. Keep your thoughts on trial. Negative thoughts aren't your enemy, they're just poor storytellers. The trick is not to silence them, but to cross-examine them. Whenever you catch your mind saying something like, "I'm not good enough, everything's going wrong, nothing will ever change," stop, take a deep breath, and put that thought on trial. Ask, what's the evidence for this? Have I felt like this before and gotten through it? What would I tell a friend who thought this way? You'll notice that most negative thoughts collapse under basic questioning. They sound confident but have no substance. Reasoning like this turns your mind from an enemy into an ally. It's a mental version of cleaning your room. You sort through the junk, keep what's useful, and toss the rest. With practice, you'll notice those heavy thoughts showing up less often, and when they do, they won't stick around for long. 4. Listen, practice mental stillness daily. The best way to keep your mood balanced is to give your mind a bit of space each day. Set aside 5 minutes, just 5, where you sit quietly and do nothing but observe. You'll probably notice your thoughts racing. That's okay. You're not trying to stop them. You're learning to see them without getting pulled in. This is where real peace starts, in that tiny gap between you and your thoughts. If you do this consistently, you'll find yourself reacting less to negative events. Someone might insult you, something might go wrong, and instead of spiraling, you'll just notice it, take a breath, and move on. That's emotional mastery. Not about suppressing feelings, but about not letting them run the show. Listening to your mind this way also helps you recognize patterns. You'll start seeing the same thoughts, repeating fears, doubts, insecurities, and the moment you recognize them, they lose their power. So, make listening a habit. Your mental calmness will thank you for it. 5. Talk. Nurture real connections. Humans aren't built to go through life alone. We need connection. We need to talk. But quality matters way more than quantity. Make it a goal to have at least one genuine conversation every day. Not small talk, but real talk. Ask someone how they're doing. Share something that's been on your mind, or just laugh with someone who makes you feel good. Talking regularly keeps emotions from building up. It keeps you emotionally ventilated. But remember the golden rule. Protect your energy. Don't waste your time talking to people who drain you. Surround yourself with those who give back. People who make you feel lighter after every conversation. That kind of human energy exchange is one of the most powerful mood stabilizers there is. 6. Sleep. Protect your foundation. Sleep isn't just rest, it's reconstruction. It's when your brain processes memories, clears toxins, and resets your emotional balance. If you're serious about keeping your mood steady, treat sleep like a sacred ritual. Keep a consistent bedtime. Avoid screens an hour before bed. Keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Stop glorifying late-night productivity. It's not worth the emotional cost. Think of it this way. Your phone works fine until the battery drops to 5%. Then everything slows down, glitches out, and eventually crashes. Your brain is the same way. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's maintenance. And if you take it seriously, you'll wake up not just rested, but emotionally reset, ready to handle whatever the day throws at you. Putting it all together, your daily mood ritual? Here's how you could combine everything into one simple, realistic routine. Morning, move your body, stretch, walk, or do a short workout. End your shower with 30 seconds of cold water to shock your system awake. Afternoon, when stress hits, take a moment to reason with your thoughts. Do a quick listen exercise, 1 minute of observing your mind without reacting. Chat with someone, even a friendly message can lift your energy. Evening, reflect on your day. Notice your emotions, then let them go. Power down early and prioritize deep, quality sleep. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You just need consistency. These small, simple habits compound over time, training both your mind and body to return to balance faster. At the end of the day, being in a bad mood isn't a failure, it's just feedback. It's your mind's way of saying something's off. Maybe you're overthinking, maybe you're tired, maybe your body just needs movement or rest. When you start seeing your emotions as signals instead of enemies, everything changes. You stop fighting your mood and start working with it. And remember, happiness isn't this constant, glowing state. It's a rhythm, ups, downs, pauses, resets. The trick isn't to avoid the lows, but to know how to rise from them. So move your body, shock your system, reason through your thoughts, listen to your mind, talk it out, and sleep it off. 6 small things, 1 big transformation. If you make these part of your life, you won't just improve your mood, you'll build a stronger, calmer, more resilient version of yourself. And that's the kind of mood that lasts.